Three, two, one. Welcome to Abundance, a podcast program about the abundance mindset. My name is Zhou Fang. I am your host. Together, we will explore the abundance mindset and practice together. Welcome aboard. Hi there. Welcome back to Abundance, a podcast program about the world of abundance, the abundance mindset, and how to practice it. And I am your host and teacher, Zhou Fang. Earlier, we discussed scarcity and the scarcity mindset, and we consider as perhaps the part one of scarcity. And today I want to talk a little bit more about scarcity, and maybe this is part two about scarcity and the scarcity mindset, because I think we need to have a good understanding of scarcity in order to be able to spot it, to be able to catch it, so that we have the opportunity to change that scarcity mindset and change that into the abundance mindset. So last time when we discussed scarcity, we talked about not enough, right? Not doing enough, not having enough, or not being enough, and also feeling the need of having more or wanting more. And sometimes we end up hoarding resources, and also the needing or feel the need of endless competition, and that's also scarcity. So a lot of that is our fear or our being afraid of scarcity, or in the end there is not enough for us, or in the end we are not enough for some reason. And again, that's not our fault. Is because as a society we function on the scarcity mindset, and we do have an opportunity to shift that mindset from scarcity to abundance. And of course, that's basically the reason that we are here to talk about the world of abundance. So today I want to continue to share about scarcity and the scarcity mindset. And one thing I noticed, at least for myself and for folks around me, is when we feel isolated or when we feel alone or lonely, that is a sense of scarcity. That feels like, it almost feels like we are stranded on an island and there is no help for us. And that is a very scary feeling. That is definitely at least fear for me. And I know some folks really enjoy alone time, like say solitude or like me time. And I enjoy that as well. And I really want to make sure, we have to be able to tell the difference between, being isolated and being forced into isolation and being alone, or the feeling of being lonely. That's very different from solitude, because when we enjoy our me time, that's a choice, right? We choose to be alone. We choose to be doing things alone, or choose to be with ourselves. That is a choice. And that's actually really important for our well-being, as we were talking about rest earlier, to how to recharge and replenish our headspace and our capacity. And here we're talking about this kind of isolation that makes us feel helpless or hopeless, or feel like we are going through this life alone. The thing is, we're never alone, right? Like if we have a community, if we reach out, help is available. But the feeling of being isolated, being alone or lonely, that in itself is scarcity. And a lot of us are trapped in that kind of scarcity because we are afraid of asking for help. Or sometimes we will say, oh, I don't want to worry other people, or I don't want to become a burden. Right? I don't want to burden other people. I don't want to trouble other people with my own trouble. But the thing is, as human beings, we want to help. Like we are programmed to help each other. Like that's in us, that's in our design, that's in our system. So when someone asks me for help, usually I'm like, what I can do, please let me help you. Like I would love to help you. I would love to find ways to help you. So I imagine, a lot of people around us are like that too. If we ask for help, usually people will say, I'll see what I can do, right? Like, I would love to help you. Let me see what I can do to support you during this time. So we want to help. That's our kind of like instinct as a species. So next time, if you feel isolated and feel like I don't have anything available for me to support myself, please really consider reaching out and find help. And of course, if you really do feel like you are in crisis, there is help available as well. For example, you can always reach out to 988. You can either call or text or use their chat function. Someone will be able to assist you in crisis. But just generally speaking, the kind of isolation and loneliness is a symptom of scarcity, and how scarcity has turned our society into sometimes a box or an island, and we're all kind of like stranded on our little islands. And we can change that. We can totally change that by practicing the abundance mindset and reach out to community and build our own communities. And another thing I want to talk about in terms of scarcity is judgment. Right? Like we judge ourselves a lot specifically. Of course, we judge each other, like we're all opinionated, and we talk about, this is what I think. Oh, you should be doing that. Or I wouldn't do this myself. So there's a lot of judgment going around about other people. Of course, that is a sign of scarcity. And I want to address perhaps the biggest judgment we have is the one for ourselves. We oftentimes think about, I shouldn't have done this. I could have done better. I would have done this had I given these kind of resources, or if this condition was different, then I would have done things differently. Like there's a lot of like analyzing, there's a lot of like intellectualizing things, and as a result, we put judgment ourselves and think, oh, you didn't do enough, or like, oh, you failed, or like you made a mistake. Or sometimes it's even like a bigger picture, right? Like I cannot do anything right, or I'm such a failure. And that kind of judgment is actually quite common in around us, and sometimes for ourselves as well. So I'd like to encourage folks to think about, judgment is also a way of scarce thinking. But we can definitely change that. We can say something like, you tried really hard this time and it didn't work out the way you wanted it to be, but that's a good try. Like you made a real effort. And next time, you're going to do a lot better because you are learning from your experiences from this time. So lessons learned. And now you have data. You can try to do better next time. So instead of like judging ourselves, we're actually learning from these real life experiences that we can bring to the next experience, the next experiment, or the next event in our life, so we can continue to improve and do better. And that is based on, abundance. To think about, oh, the future will be better. The next possibility will be better. And I have an opportunity to improve, to do even better because I am learning from the current experience. So we can really switch from that scarcity to abundance, to have that learner's mind so that we don't have to be constantly judging or feeling unsatisfied of whatever we do or whatever we've done in the past. So isolation and judgment are two symptoms of a scarcity mindset. And of course, there are more lessons to learn around scarcity, and we will talk more going forward. So if you feel, this episode resonates, and if you want to share your thoughts or reflection, please leave a comment, and please like our episodes, and please make sure to share with your friends and family, and please make sure to subscribe to the program. And we have all the information you need in the show notes. And of course, turn on your notification so that you don't miss our content about the world of abundance. And next time, we're going to come back to abundance and talk about something that's very relevant to the abundance mindset and how to practice it as well. So thank you for being here. And until next time, take care.